Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're diving into something that, let's be honest, can sound totally intimidating at first, but really, it's basically the ultimate cheat code for your future. We're talking about financial literacy for students. Now, don't worry, we're not going to sit here and bore you to tears with, complex corporate finance jargon or global market trends. Nope, we are going straight to the absolute groundwork. Let's unpack what financial literacy actually means for the next generation. To kick things off, we really have to just stop and ask ourselves a super fundamental question. What is money, really? Our source material doesn't just hand us some dry textbook definition of banking or economics. Instead, it really forces us to pause. It makes us realize that money, well, it isn't just physical paper in your wallet or, random digits sitting in a banking app. It's a whole complex system that we actually have to navigate. It's a tool, right? A tool we use to literally build our lives. And it's a language we use to communicate value to one another. And if you're a student, think about it. Before you can earn it, before you can save it, or definitely before you invest it, you absolutely have to grasp exactly what it is you're dealing with. Because honestly, when most people hear the phrase financial literacy, their minds immediately jump to all those scary concepts. You know the ones: mortgage rates, compounding interests, complicated tax brackets. It can seriously feel like someone's speaking a totally different language. But here is the absolutely brilliant simplification that our source gives us. True financial literacy, it can actually be boiled down to just two words: understanding money. That's it. It completely strips away all that intimidation factor. It's basically telling you, hey, you don't need a PhD in economics to get started here. You really just need to hit a core comprehension of this one single central concept. So that simple concept, understanding money, it acts as the ultimate baseline for literally everything a student needs to grasp about their financial world. And I really want you to think about the weight of that word, understanding. It definitely doesn't mean just memorizing some facts so you can pass a multiple choice test. No way. It means truly internalizing how value flows, how it works as an exchange, and how it directly impacts your everyday life. For a student who's, looking out at this vast and, let's face it, often super confusing adult world, this idea is your anchor. It's the starting line. Literally everything else you will ever learn about personal finance gets built directly on top of this exact foundation. Because there is a massive, and I mean massive, difference between simply using currency and actually possessing real financial literacy. It's kind of like a crucial shift from being passive to being active. Think about it. On one hand, you have just spending money. That's passive, it's transactional, and honestly, it's often a completely thoughtless process. It's what happens when we just interact with the financial system totally on autopilot. But then, on the other hand, you have understanding money. And that is an active, highly strategic mindset. True financial literacy means finally crossing over from being a mere consumer who just spends to becoming this empowered individual who actually controls the mechanics behind every single transaction. And this broad concept of financial education, it isn't just meant for adults who are already completely set in their ways. Not at all. It connects directly to the practical, everyday reality of school students. These elements interlock perfectly together, almost like a giant puzzle. Think of them as the gears that are actually driving your future. Financial literacy is the overarching goal. Understanding money is your practical method to get there. And school students? Well, that's the vital starting point. Our source material totally recognizes that these formative school years are exactly when this foundation needs to be poured. Let's actually distill this whole thing down to a direct, guiding mantra straight from the text: understanding money for school students. I want you to treat this as your personal mission statement. It just cuts right through all that noise, the complex jargon, and the general confusion of the whole financial world. Seriously, whenever the idea of personal finance starts feeling overwhelming, and it will, just return to this simple, super focused objective. It's accessible, it's direct, and man, is it deeply empowering, because it literally puts you right in the driver's seat of your own education. So, to wrap up our explainer today, I want to leave you with one final, kind of provocative thought. How does understanding money reshape a student's entire future? We've just seen how financial literacy distills down to its absolute bare essence. But think about the so what here. If a student can master this single concept, if they can truly make that monumental transition from just mindlessly spending money to truly understanding it, it changes absolutely everything that comes next. It dictates their choices, their personal independence, and their opportunities for the rest of their lives. So, thanks for joining me today. Keep that question in the back of your mind and let it spark your curiosity to dive in and learn even more.